The message was never meant for her. It was a small mistake, a tired father's thumb pressing send before his brain could catch up. But that single message, 2 simple words, would change everything in ways Caleb Hart never imagined. Caleb sat alone at his small kitchen table in his modest apartment in Columbus, staring at the faint glow of his phone screen while the rest of the apartment remained silent. His 5-year-old son, Oliver, had finally fallen asleep on the couch after a long day of daycare, and tears about missing his mom. The apartment smelled faintly of microwave macaroni and the lavender soap Caleb used when bathing his son before bed. Life had been heavy lately. 2 years earlier, Caleb's wife had passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him alone to raise Oliver while juggling a demanding job at a financial consulting firm downtown. The days were long, the nights even longer. Every morning felt like climbing a mountain he wasn't sure he had the strength to finish. That night, exhaustion wrapped around him like fog. His eyes burned as he typed a quick message to Oliver's babysitter, Rachel, thanking her for helping earlier that day, but his tired fingers slipped. Instead of sending the message to Rachel, he sent it to his boss. I love you. The moment the message left his phone, Caleb froze. His stomach dropped. His boss, Victoria Hale, was known throughout the company as brilliant, intimidating, and impossibly professional. She ran the firm with precision and rarely smiled. People whispered that she had built her career with iron discipline and little patience for mistakes. And Caleb had just texted her, I love you. His heart started pounding so loudly he could hear it in his ears. He frantically opened the message thread again, hoping just maybe he had imagined it. But there it was, delivered. Caleb buried his face in his hands, letting out a quiet, defeated groan. After everything he had worked for, after months of proving himself as a dependable employee despite his struggles as a single father, this one stupid mistake might cost him everything. Before panic completely swallowed him, take a quick second to support this channel. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories about ordinary people finding unexpected hope, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to the channel. Your support truly helps keep these stories alive. Caleb stared at his phone for 10 minutes, debating whether to send another message explaining the mistake. His fingers hovered over the keyboard again and again, but what could he say? Sorry. That was meant for someone else. Please ignore that. Pretend it never happened. None of it sounded any less awkward. Eventually, he sighed and placed the phone face down on the table, hoping maybe Victoria would simply assume it was an error and ignore it. Then came the knock. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on his apartment door. Caleb frowned. It was almost 9:30 p.m. No one visited him that late. Oliver stirred slightly on the couch, but didn't wake. Caleb walked to the door, confusion building with each step. When he opened it, his breath caught in his throat. Standing in the dim hallway light was Victoria Hale. She wore a dark coat over her business suit, her hair slightly windblown from the cold night air. But the expression on her face wasn't the stern one Caleb saw at the office every day. It was something softer, something uncertain. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Caleb's mind raced, trying to understand how she even knew where he lived. Then he remembered the emergency contact information employees filled out for HR files. Of course, she must have looked it up. I'm so sorry, Caleb finally managed, his voice awkward and strained. His face burned with embarrassment as he tried to explain that the message had been meant for someone else, that it was just a mistake, that he never meant to make her uncomfortable. But Victoria gently raised her hand. Her voice was quiet. She said she knew it had probably been an accident, but she had still come anyway, because sometimes accidents reveal truths people are too afraid to say out loud. Caleb blinked in confusion. Victoria stepped inside slowly, glancing around the small apartment. Her eyes landed on Oliver, sleeping peacefully under a blanket, clutching a stuffed dinosaur. Something in her expression changed. Caleb explained everything then, how he'd been raising Oliver alone since losing his wife, how work had been overwhelming, how he constantly feared failing, both as a father and as an employee. The words poured out faster than he expected. Victoria listened quietly, not like a boss, but like a person. When he finished, the apartment felt strangely calm. Then Victoria did something Caleb never expected. She told him a story of her own. Years ago, before she became the powerful executive everyone feared, she had been someone trying desperately to hold her life together. She had once been engaged, deeply in love, planning a future that felt certain. But the man she loved died in a car accident just weeks before their wedding. Instead of grieving openly, Victoria buried herself in work. She built walls around her heart so high that no one at the office had ever truly known her. Until that message. When she saw the words, "I love you," appear on her screen, something inside her stopped. For a moment, it reminded her of a time when those words still existed in her life. It made her realize how lonely she had become. Caleb listened in silence, stunned. For the first time, Victoria Hale didn't look untouchable. She looked human, fragile, and tired. As the night stretched on, they talked quietly while Oliver slept nearby. They talked about loss, fear, and the strange way life forces people to keep moving forward, even when their hearts are still behind them. Somewhere in that conversation, something changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just a small shift. Two lonely people realizing they understood each other. Weeks passed. At the office, Victoria remained professional, but something had softened. She became more flexible with Caleb's schedule when Oliver needed him. Sometimes, she even asked how the little boy was doing. Then one Saturday afternoon, something unexpected happened. Victoria showed up again, this time at a playground in Columbus. Oliver ran across the grass, laughing as he chased pigeons near the swings. Victoria watched him, her expression thoughtful. She admitted she hadn't realized how much she had missed moments like this. Sunlight, laughter, the simple joy of a child discovering the world. Over time, those visits became more frequent. Oliver began greeting her with excited waves, and Caleb slowly realized the mistake he once feared would ruin his life had quietly built something new. Connection, a friendship, maybe even something more. Years later, Caleb would still remember that night. The message that embarrassed him, the message that terrified him, the message that changed his life. Because sometimes, life doesn't move forward through perfect plans. Sometimes, it moves through mistakes, through accidents, through small moments that open doors we never expected. Before this story ends, tell us, where are you watching from? And do you believe life's biggest blessings sometimes come from unexpected mistakes? One evening, long after that night, Caleb stood in his kitchen again. But this time, he wasn't alone. Oliver sat at the table coloring, while Victoria stood beside him. Laughing softly as Oliver insisted, she helped him draw a dinosaur bigger than the house. Caleb looked at them, warmth filling his chest. Then he picked up his phone and typed a message. "I love you." This time, it wasn't a mistake. Red heart.